Hi there, hope you're doing well. Today is a very special day for all of us because, as SV Praise and Prayer Group and as the SV Devotional YouTube channel, we complete 1 year of preparing these daily devotionals and publishing on YouTube so that all the alumni, our friends, our families, relatives, and the entire people can just check these YouTube videos, see what God has put in our hearts, and together we grow in the Lord. My topic for today is finding Jesus. So, just as we have been trying to see Jesus in all these daily devotionals, today I will talk about what it means to find Jesus. And to relate to this topic, I'm going to be taking you back to the last chapter of all the four Gospels, where we learn about how Jesus had died and rose again. So, when Jesus died on the cross, we learn about how Joseph and Nicodemus had got the body of Jesus. And Joseph was a very rich man, and he had a garden tomb, and he had a new tomb that was hewn out of a rock, which has not been used, and he probably prepared it for himself and his family members. But then there was an opportunity that he could put Jesus, and we also read in the Bible that he was a disciple of Jesus, and it was a great honor for him to go to Pilate and ask to get the body, and Pilate also approved him to take the body and to place it in his tomb. And we also learn about how the Pharisees told Pilate that there's a good chance that the disciples may steal the body and claim that he rose again from the dead, and that will be a very big thing. So please go ahead and seal the tomb. So we learn how Pilate gave the order to seal the tomb for their satisfaction. And we also hear about how Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came, saw how the body is kept in the tomb, and then they returned back and start to prepare the spices and the perfumes for the dead body. And they rested on the Sabbath, planning to come on Sunday morning and do the embalming of the body and to put all these spices and the perfumes. Though they knew that the tomb was sealed, and they still trusted that they could still go ahead and honor Jesus' body, and they brought all these perfumes and the spices, and they're coming early in the morning. Then we read about how they see that the tomb, the stone was rolled away. They go inside, they see the clothes are left in a heap, and there's nobody else to be seen. And then they go back to tell the disciples that they couldn't find Jesus and the body is not there. The way the story is narrated in all the four Gospels is like a puzzle. You need to kind of like mix and match and put them all together. But what we read is, we see that first Mary and the other women had come together to see the body. They find the body is not there, and then we read about how Peter and John had come to also see the place. John came first, but he stayed back, not entering the tomb when he first saw that the clothes were lying in a place. And then Peter goes in and he sees that again it's not there. And then we also see about how they see the angels, and the angels said, "Why is seeking him among the dead? He told you that he would be rising up on the third day." So the moment they hear this, they go back in fear and go and tell the other disciples. But then we also learn about how Mary Magdalene stayed back, and then after she's seen the angels, she turns back and then she sees Jesus, and she mistakes him for a gardener. And then when she talks to him, she realizes that he's Jesus. Since we also know that she came along with other women to embalm the body of Jesus, but how did only she get to see Jesus and not the other people? So this is again a mystery. So to understand this, let me again go back to what exactly happened before the resurrection happened. So this is something that I learned from Kat Kerr, who is again a prophet, and she's somebody who has been given the opportunity by God to see a lot of things, to even visit heaven multiple times, and God has even taken her to see what exactly happened during the time of Jesus' death, and also how he went into Hades and paradise, and even to hell. When Jesus talks about certain parables, he gives us an example about how the beggar Lazarus, when he died, he goes to Abraham's bosom, whereas the rich man went into hell. The rich man looks up and sees Lazarus in Abraham's bosom, which is actually a name for paradise. And then he is asking that could he just give a drop of water because he's dying with thirst. So we also understand that paradise as a concept was till Jesus rose again. All the saints, right from Adam till Jesus' time, the ones who were in God's favor, they were staying in a place called paradise. And even when Jesus was on the cross and the thief on the right side said that, when you come in your kingdom, please remember me. And he tells him that today you will be with me in paradise. So the people in paradise would have been waiting for redemption, waiting to go back to God, waiting for the Savior to come. So when Jesus comes into the world, and there are people who die and go into paradise, they would have been talking to each other, saying that yes, we have seen the Messiah. A person like Jesus' father, Joseph, would have said that yes, Jesus was my son. I took care of him as my own son. And we would have had people, other people who have seen Jesus and have gone to paradise. So the entire paradise would have been rejoicing that Jesus has already come and their time to be raptured from paradise is due. We also see how Jesus raised people from the dead. So Lazarus, imagine Lazarus was dead for 4 days. So he would have been in paradise. He would have said that Jesus was my friend in when I was living. And after 4 days, imagine the people in paradise saying that suddenly he disappears from paradise and he's no more there. And similarly, when Jesus raised up like Jairus' daughter and other people, they would have been in paradise, again come back to earth. So there would have been a big anticipation for all the saints in paradise, saying that what is this? We need to see Jesus, and maybe it's a time to see Jesus and to go back to God the Father. So when Jesus dies, we also read in the Bible that he went into Hades, paradise, and he preached out there. So obviously it will be a time of great rejoicing in paradise when people got to see him. And there was also a purpose why Jesus had to go down there. That was to redeem and restore back the keys of death, hell, and the grave from Satan. So Kat Kerr again talks about how she was able to get a vision of what exactly happened during this time. So after Jesus had preached in paradise, he goes to hell on his own accord. And Lucifer knows who has come out here, but Jesus keeps quiet. So Lucifer waits for a day, for the Sabbath. He sees that, okay, God the Father is not coming to rescue Jesus. So he thought that, oh, I have the Son of God at my disposal, and now I can torture him just as God has tortured me. So he calls all the principalities, the powers of his dominion from all the various parts of universe. He calls them there with the sense that he's going to show that he is one, even the Son of God, and Son of God is now again fallen victim, just like how the first Adam had fallen. But there was a surprise on the third day, on Sunday. So God reveals with a loud light, and Jesus again, it is talked about how he just burnt all the demons and the powers of hell. If you see many of the demons that is talked about hell, it shows about how they have melted faces. If you see some gods of which is called like Kutlu and all of those things, they're shown with melted faces. Many demons are there who are faces have been melted. That is because when Jesus rose from the grave, he defeated all the powers of and all the powers of the Lucifer, and melted their faces so that they will not have any glory in them. And Lucifer, being one of the he was very beautiful to look at because he had put himself a lot of jewels all around him, and he was very handsome to look. But Jesus took off all the gems from his person, and also took the keys of hell, death, and the grave, and then was able to take all the people from paradise back to heaven. So the concept of paradise was only till Jesus' death, and after that, all the saints of God will be going directly into heaven. So with this resurrection, so again Jesus comes into his earthly body, and that body is now a resurrected body. So now he is able to, as we see in the Bible, that he is able to talk to someone, and he disappears. He's suddenly with the two disciples who are traveling to Emmaus. He meets all the other women along with Mary Magdalene when they're on the way, and he says, "Go and talk to the disciples and say that I'll be meeting them." So the women go to tell the disciples, and the two disciples who met Jesus and also had supper with him, they also come back and tell the disciples that yes, we have seen Jesus, and he's appeared to Simon as well. And in the midst of them, Jesus comes and shows himself to them. So he's able to have a resurrected body. And coming back into the tomb scenario, why did Mary Magdalene was the first to see Jesus when there were other women along with her? So one way to think about this is that even the disciples who were supposed to be very close to him, he informed them that on the third day I will raise up from the dead. But they were not able to understand all of these concepts. They were looking for him in the wrong places. The moment they went to the tomb, and the angels told them that, why are you looking for him among the dead? He is not here, he is risen. But why did the angels stay there in the tomb? And then one of the prophets also says that the act of the clothes kept in one place, it means that the master is getting ready and he is not yet done. So which is why when John the disciple sees the clothes lying in one place, he just stays away because he thinks that the master is getting ready. It's not the time to go inside and see him right now. Another way what Catker also talks about is that when Jesus was resurrected, he speaks and the stone rolls away, and he goes and smells the flowers that is there in the garden. So we know that this is the Garden of Gethsemane, and post resurrection, Jesus was just enjoying his time smelling the flowers, and she was able to see that vision. When the disciples just heard from the angels and then they ran back, had they thought to themselves saying that when Jesus was here, he used to love spending time in the garden, he would love to see the flowers, why can't we look for him in the places where he used to be there and the places that he used to love being there? My assumption is that Mary Magdalene, the other women might have just been there at the entrance of the tomb. Maybe they were staying there or they just went back. But then she would have thought, like, let me just go to the places where Jesus used to be there. And then when she goes and to the garden area, she is able to see Jesus, and she was not able to recognize him at first. But when he tells her Mary, then she knows who is talking to her. So this is a good way to think about what exactly happened, and then relate it to ourselves about finding Jesus. We see all the disciples finding Jesus in the wrong place, finding Jesus among the dead. finding Jesus in the tomb. Whereas the people who know Jesus and know that he loves to be in the garden should have been spending time looking for him in the garden, not in the tomb. So this is what I want to encourage all of you, that when you are in your quest to find Jesus, find your own garden. Your garden might be your own room, your own house where there's privacy and you can just spend some time meditating on God. It could be in your workplace, in your driving your car, or when you're doing a cooking time, when you're alone by yourself and you can just keep thinking about God. So this is your garden. If you just try to find Jesus in a place that he's not going to be there, it's pointless being there. If you look at any examples of about when people say that they were able to meet Jesus and were able to feel his presence, it's not normally in a very public place or even in a big church. It is always said is in a time of solitude, when you spend some time just meditating on him, that is when you get to see Jesus. So I would urge all of you that find the garden, your garden, where you can spend time with Jesus, be it your devotional time, any silent room in your home where you can just spend some time with him, and there you will be able to find Jesus. So don't look for Jesus in the wrong places. Look for him in your garden. I hope you are blessed by this, and I hope you are able to find Jesus in each of your lives. Take care and God bless.